Well, there's got to be a certain amount of selfishness. How I learned how serious this disease is when I went into AA and I got into the North Yonkers group. There's members of the group that are like gurus. These are the people that are ahead of the group. They dictate what is going on. And it so happens that there was this woman there that actually that put my name up for the institutional committee rep. And you identify people that, there's no way that this person's going to ever drink or drug or anything like that. Soon after she appointed me, apparently she got sick and she had taken some medication. And her doctor, her husband was, I believe, was a doctor and prescribed some pills to her. And 6 months later, she committed suicide. So, when you begin to realize that there's no senior members here, that, you just have one day at a time and that you better work like heck for your sobriety. And now what I have is worth working for. Well, let me share something with you. When I walked into AA that time, when I heard the laughter, I used to hate this little guy. He's a little Italian winemaker I used to call George. He was very serene, very, just a person that everything was together with him. And what he identified with, as far as what he do not project, and it's just for today. And I used to hate that guy because you just had to understand that you just have today. And I couldn't get that concept in the beginning, but when he began saying that, he said that at every meeting. And as I said, I resented him. I hated him because he said that, because I was waiting for the one night that he wasn't going to say it. And so you begin to listen to these people. And as I said, I didn't do the steps right away. But the three groups I went to all had step meetings. And I went through North Yonkers, first step, the first step, and then Red next meeting, and then the third meeting, I was the same step meeting. But as they say, bring the body, the mind will follow. And getting back to this one day at a time, this guy, George, used to say, don't project. And I was waiting for that one day, and he never did it. But one time he would say it in the beginning, and I would turn him off. Next time he would say it in the middle, but I would listen to him up until the time that. And then the next time he'd say it at the end. I was waiting for him not to do it. But as we begin to listen to people in the meetings, we begin to assimilate what they say. We don't understand what's happening, but we begin to assimilate exactly what they're doing. And by the time I actually began taking the steps, I had done 80% of the steps because of my attending at the meetings, at the step meetings, because what they were telling me, I began to assimilate and began to do. So in essence, what happens, that's why these meetings are so important. Without meetings, you can read all kinds of books, you can read all kinds of things, but if you don't go to meetings at the same time, you're not going to hear what you might need to hear to be able to stay sober the next day. And so my sponsor said, if they're talking about alcohol, you better listen, because they might say something to you. But they take other stuff, and there's a lot of stuff that goes to the meetings that you really don't need to participate in. But meantime, it's a situation where when they talk alcohol, they might tell you something that you might need today. And so I began to do it, and by listening and assimilating what they've told, and not really recognizing they're doing these things, I got sober. And so that one day at a time is very important, because we're not guaranteed tomorrow. I could wind up falling over here dead right now, and I won't have anything tomorrow. But meantime, whatever I can do today that's good, I will. So these are where we begin a day at a time is so important. If in fact there's no senior members here, I mean, the one who gets up earliest has the most sobriety. That's what I believe, and that's what's happening. So reality is that, hey, we're only guaranteed today. And so there are some instances there that you go to meetings and they have different ideas about seniority. Everybody's senior people, if you have more than a year, you can't speak, and all these other things that have come true because of the numbers of people in AA right now today. But people don't realize that there are some people that might have 30 years of sobriety that might be hanging by their fingernails because of something that happened in their life today. And really, in some instances, you have to live a moment at a time. Just the importance of not drinking is important, because drinking is what's setting you up for. And so the reality is that you're just hanging by your fingernails. And so, in essence, there's no senior members here. We have today, and that's all. And nobody's senior out there.